The Hitman Hart, the best there is, best there was, and the best there ever will be. And you're listening to the Smacked Raw podcast.
Everybody, welcome to The Rewind, Smacked Raw's weekly show where RN and myself run down the latest happenings in and outside the ring. We are your hosts. My name is Kyle Tyson.
And I am Arn Aku, a.k.a. Mr. 8984, a.k.a. the brains of the operation.
The brains of bullshit, man. What are you talking about? You show up.
Until we battle again. Whenever that is.
Yo, we don't battle again,
trivia-wise.
We don't need to bring that up.
I am the brains of the Rewind and the Smacked Raw team.
You're the trivia master, man. Fuck you, dude.
I am the brains and the bronze and the looks of this team. So.
Oh, man. All right, how you doing this week?
Pretty good. Late Rewind show for us, but we got some action for you.
Yeah, we always end up doing our Rewind episode the week of pay-per-views. We're always late. We're sometime Mondays or Tuesdays. You can always catch us at our regularly scheduled time on non-premium live event weeks, 9 p.m. twitch.tv/SmackedRaw. You can also catch other shows like the Botch Spots and Chair Shots on there. I believe they go live. They're going to be going live on Tuesday nights as well. With the exception of tonight, we are bringing back UWO tonight on Popular Wrestling Opinions. If you're not familiar with the show, I'm going to read off some hot takes from Twitter to a bunch of guests. This week we have the likes of Matt Vertigo. He's going to be on. He is always awesome. We're going
to make him an official part of this show or what? Because he probably does more shows than I do.
I'm telling you, man. Yeah. Cole Bohannon is going to be on here. And then unpinned Southern States champion Miles Blackwell. He'll be on tonight. We got 3 independent wrestlers. They're going to come on and debate your guys' hot takes on the professional wrestling scene. It's always a lot of fun. Tune in tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern, or if you're catching this on the replay on YouTube, it should probably already be up, and go watch it. Go watch it now. No, not now. Pause, watch this and then go watch that, or at least get past 10 minutes with us. I think that's what YouTube's algorithm is. Just keep us active for 10 minutes, and then go watch UWO. Yeah. Subscribe too. Oh wait, I have a subscribe button. Hold on. All right, and what did I do with that thing? There it is. Yeah, there you go. Click the like, subscribe, and notification bell over here on YouTube. And then if you're listening to us on the audio version, I don't know what you're doing, man. Part of the fun is tuning in and seeing the video where you get to see my son make his cameos on the live streams, one of my 2 boys, and then the various dogs I have, they're in here too. You always get to catch them on all the behind-the-scenes stuff. But yeah, on the audio stuff, do it. What do they leave, ratings and reviews and downloads and stuff?
Something like that. I probably listen to us. I listen to more shows than I watch. I think I've maybe watched 2 or 3 of our shows. I always just listen on podcast. What's that podcast? I always listen on Spotify.
Spotify? There you go. Yeah, man. Help us out there too. Help us out. I mean, we are a podcast. At the end of the day, we are a podcast. So help us out there.
Right.
Lastly, too, man. All right, I'm going to call you out, man. What are we going to do with this? With the GM mode? Do you want to? We kind of shot a pilot. At this point, it's just a pilot because a big update's happened.
Well, yeah, that's what I was going to say. We should probably just scrap that one and start all over because the rosters are going to be different now because they added some stuff.
Yeah, exactly. You still want to do it, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, fantastic.
What are you doing this weekend? Let's just pick a day this weekend and we just go hard for fucking 5 shows.
You know what? I am free. Here, yo, listen. Let me check our Smacked Raw Apple calendar that I've been neglecting.
Check that? I was just saying, you're checking that now.
Yeah, let me check that. If you guys, so behind the scenes here on Smacked Raw, we have this joint calendar because a lot of our, we do a lot of shows and interviews and stuff now, and And yeah, me like a Neanderthal, I just say I'm going to go live whenever, and accidentally double booked us tonight. Instead, Will has been so gracious to move his show till tomorrow, or later tonight. I can't remember. But Will's helping me out. All right, let's do. We can do Friday.
Like what time?
Anytime, man. I'll put SmackDown and Rampage on in the background if you want to do Friday.
Let's do Friday like around 6, and let's just draft and do like 2 or 3 shows.
Okay. Yeah, we'll do Friday around 6 o'clock. You'll probably, if you guys tune in, we'll do it live right here on Twitch. So Friday, May 13th. Oh, Friday the 13th. Hell yeah.
Yep.
And Alison says that they might go live after UWO. Maybe. Well, if you guys iron it out during the show, Alison, let me know. Do you hear like my dog whining?
Yeah, I'm just hoping mine shuts the fuck up. She's asleep right now. Hopefully she stays asleep.
I think she just wants my attention. Okay. Anyways, yeah, we'll do Friday the 13th, 6 p.m. Eastern time. Tune in here on Twitch, where RN and I will do our My GM mode head-to-head, and we'll go ahead and go forward with that. We'll put some gaming content on here. Why not?
Which, by the way, I was smoking Kyle the last show we did.
You barely beat me. What are you talking about?
A win's a win.
A win's a win. Anyways, speaking of video games, we'll shoot this right to our first topic of the day. AEW, man, they recently released some more footage for their supposed September release of their AEW video game Fight Forever. I'm not gonna lie, RN, the graphics looking pretty rough. Did you see this?
Yeah, I did, and I didn't think they were too terrible because we never give anybody like any real credit, but they're the 2K and SmackDown versus Raw, all that shit. There's like 20 years worth of game development and work that's been done on those. Like I didn't give it too much. I do say it's shitty compared to, especially with the new systems out and all that. But I didn't think it was exactly too terrible. Like to me, how it looks isn't as much important as how it plays. So like that, I'm more interested to see what the gameplay would be rather than necessarily how everything looks and like how shine. Like, can you see their fucking sweat dripping off their head like you can on 2K and shit? So I don't know. Like I said, it definitely was shitty. Like I'm not saying it wasn't shitty, but
my theory is that that they're gonna delay it. That's all it is. I think right. I don't know if any people really like on here like follow a lot of like video game stuff, but I remember like Halo dropped a trailer when it was announced, and it looked really rough graphically, and then they ended up pushing it back. Now that one got pushed back like a whole year. But my theory is yeah, they might push it back a little bit. Some more behind the scenes stuff with that I've heard. They are way over budget, which they were over budget from the get-go.
From the jump.
Yeah, from the jump they were in the red. And one of the pros and cons to Kenny Omega being out all this time is he's had a lot of hands-on apparently behind the scenes with the developers. And I mean, positive, yeah, you have a guy who's a huge fan of video games, you know, saying there, listen, this is what we're gonna like, this is what we're not gonna like. But at the same time, apparently it's causing a headache, you know, because imagine you sitting here trying to work and then somebody, a fan of podcasting, is just in your ear like, all right, make sure you talk about this, make sure you do that. You know what I mean? Like right. you have this guy who does not do video game development in your ear. You know, I mean, this is kind of like summarizing essentially. I'm sure it's not like Kenny Omega's literally sitting next to a developer like, fucking, you missed a spot. You know what I mean? But
like I said, I mean, wrestling's a weird thing. Like, it's a fighting game, but it's sports at the same time. It's like, I don't know. Like, I feel like sometimes people don't realize how hard video game development is. And then on something like this, where you have to get things accurate, where you're not just like, it's not just coming straight from your head. It's shit you have to actually do and render to make look like it's really on TV. It's not just like some fantasy world shit. So it's like, I feel like people don't understand how hard that really is. And we've only had one wrestling game for what, the past 10 years. So
I mean, there's
give
some
these
other
studios
ones that get a lot of shine. Fire Pro Wrestling, I always hear, is really good. I've been meaning to.
Yeah, I mean, those are
that.
good, but they're not the same as what these type of wrestling. It's like arcade style shit.
It's the same deal with WWE being the main promotion in town. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, there's other wrestling promotions out there, but there's only one major. Well, I guess two kind of major ones now, but like, one juggernaut in the whole industry. Yeah. We'll see, man. I'm excited for it, though, because from what I gather, just because I'm really old, and you're old enough, if you played this, you'd remember, I think they have similar developers as the game Def Jam Fight for New York. You ever play that?
Hell yeah. You fucking can't. First of all, I'm black. Second of all, I'm a nerd. So, yes, I fucking played Def Jam.
If AEW can play like Def Jam, that's you're gonna see me play.
And that's my thing. Like, fuck it. If you're gonna go that route. Take the ring out. Make it make it literally like Def Jam. We can fucking beat each other up in the cars. Backstage areas.
Remember LAX and the Best Friends in their parking lot brawl?
Right, exactly.
That was a Def Jam fight.
That was
a Def Jam match right there.
And that would be something too that would differentiate you from the 2K shit. Like, that would make you stand out even more if you just made it the wrestlers, but straight up fucking like fighting games. So like, I'd buy that motherfucker. I'd go reserve it right now and put fucking 50 on it.
I would be a Kickstarter.
Like, yeah, literally.
I'd be a backer.
That'd be fucking dope as hell if you had a wrestling game that was like Tekken or some shit like that, or like Def Jam. Like, that would be dope.
Oh man, yes, dude, it would be dope. I look forward to it, man. I can't wait to give it a shot. Just like pro wrestling, as far as things to watch, the games need a little variety too. Right. Although I will say the little bit that I have played 2K22, it's actually pretty good. It's actually, I'm not gonna lie, it's decent.
Yeah, I like the gameplay. I like the buttons and everything. Like, I think it's fucking leaps and bounds. I just hope they don't do like, this is the thing I hate about 2K NBA. If anybody out there plays it, I know most wrestling people don't transfer over to different sports like I do. They fucking fuck with the system and the shot system and everything every fucking year. They never leave shit the same. Like, every year is something different you have to learn. And that's one of my biggest complaints about how fucking awesome NBA 2K is and all the things you can do with it. Like, they never leave well enough alone. Like, I know some things work and some things they do keep, but the majority of it, they change something every year as far as your shot making, the shot stick, all of it. I hope that WWE 2K, they leave it this way that they have it as far as like the moves going and everything. Like, I fucking love it. Like, it's awesome. It's kind of like old school how we used to do with WrestleMania 2000 and everything. We had to do up and A, down and A, left and A, and all that to do. Like, I'm into it. Like, I hope they don't fuck with it. They leave it how it is.
Yeah. The only issue I have, and this is me personally, it's not actually with the game itself, is I take too large a gaps in between my my sessions playing 2K22, where every time I play it, I feel like I'm learning the controls. Like, I'll just get the swing of it, I'll put it down, and then I'm going to touch it for like 3 weeks, and then I'll come back to it and be like, shit, I forgot everything all over again. But yeah. Also, Bama's in the chat. This reminded me too. The Bammer Slammer is going on a hiatus.
Bama.
Yeah, we are R.I.P. the Bammer Slammer. No, just Bama is going to be doing his own thing, and I haven't confirmed yet with Bama if his show will continue. I imagine it will. He's got a lot of momentum, but it's not going to be featured here on Smacked Raw anymore. It's most likely he'll be doing his own thing. Yeah, we wish him well. There's no ill will, I think.
Not on my end.
Not on my end.
Tell Bama anytime he needs me to jump on the show or anytime he's recording, definitely let me know. I mean, I'll jump on. Like, he's an integral part of our growth, and I fuck with Bama hard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
People grow apart, shit goes down. No, doesn't have to be mad or bad about it. Just people cross paths and go about your business.
Exactly, and that's all it is. But yeah, so he's not going to be on Smacked Raw anymore. But the moment we know like where you can find him, if he's going to keep it going, like I said, I suspect Bama will keep the Bammer Slammer kicking.
Facts.
And yeah, we'll definitely be the first place to let you know. I believe he's got a video that is still scheduled to drop on our YouTube. It will be the official last Bammer Slammer on Smack Draw's YouTube channel. If you give me a second, if I was more prepared, here we go. Let's take a look here. Bammer Slammer is the last show is scheduled. He did this show. I'm not gonna lie, Aaron. He did this show like months in advance. Every time I upload an episode to our YouTube, it's just been sitting there. He's been there forever. Hey, we got a couple more YouTube subscribers. Thank you guys. I just realized that now. That's probably Will's bringing people in. But it says his next show is slated for... why does everything have to go so slow on this thing? It's probably because I'm streaming live. It's a lot of bandwidth. Oh, the top 10 finishers that he does, where he's got Tristan Law, the Angle podcast host, Joey, to discuss their favorite finishers. Oh, it's May 12th. It's this weekend. It'll come out on Sunday. But yeah, make sure to tune in and check that out. And then wish Bama some love. You can follow him at Bama Dave. It's Thursday. Excuse me. Yeah, 12th Thursday. Duh. But yeah. Wish the man some love on Twitter, dude. He like I said, there was no bad will, man. We're just all going in different directions at this point. Heel Tactics is in. Oh, by the way, did you hear Justin's new beat?
No, I didn't.
Dude, he remixed Fandango's beat, man. Oh, it's so good.
Oh, shit. Let's go.
It's so good. Yeah, tune in at the end of the show today, you guys. That's the one we're going to close out the show with tonight. But yeah, man, we all love Bama here. Next up, let's look over here. RN. Let's talk about, every week, this might as well be a reoccurring segment. Releases, contracts not being re-signed, and denied releases. This week, the major ones were Stu Grayson of Dark Order, tag team partner of Evil Uno. He got he didn't get released. His contract didn't get renewed, is what happened. It ran out, didn't get renewed. I think they sent him off on Being the Elite. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet, but I think they sent him off in that. What are your thoughts on Stu? Because to me, I'm not gonna lie. Granted, the current Dark Order, not really a big force in AEW, right. But the original version, him and Evil Uno easily could have had those tag titles.
Right.
You know what I mean? At least for a little bit. That's the only thing I'm bummed about.
They don't get enough credit either for being like one of the best like independent tag teams for like probably a good 3 or 4 years. They were everywhere in the independent scenes. It's a Super Smash Brothers before they came to AEW. That's what I know them as. That's what I love them best as. This Dark Order shit was all right. I feel like they didn't get the real run that they deserved as a tag team for more people to understand like how good Stu really is. But at the same time, too, he hasn't done shit. Like, I don't even remember the last time he was on TV. So
there's this infamous rant that he went on, which seemed silly at the time, but now people are saying seems like a shoot. Where he talked about how he's essentially just been stuck in catering forever and, doing these funny skits. And the thing that he's best at doing, he never gets to do, which is professional wrestling. And, of course, he was airing these grievances with Hangman Page is what was going on, because this was during their breakup when Dark Order was getting tired of playing second fiddle to Hangman, where Hangman was blowing him off and stuff. But yeah, no.
It's kind of funny how we're starting to hear stuff like we used to hear in WWE with AEW now because of that bloated ass roster.
Well, we knew it was coming. We knew when they signed up. You can go back and watch our old episodes. We're like, look, they're just going to scoop all these people up. This initial run of contracts, when they run out, it's never like a pleasant thing losing your job. You know what I mean? Like no one's, it's always going to have like feel bad.
But the thing about a lot of these releases is not re-sign and no re-signs is like some of these people are integral parts of the story. Mm-hmm. Even Stu, the Dark Order is what it is, but they're still on TV and people love the Dark Order. Like, I don't understand. Like,
you're gonna let them go one by one until it's down to Evil Uno and Colt Cabana.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. Like how companies operate with certain things like that. But clearly John Silver has taken over anyway, and he's the focal point to me, and like he's the one everyone really wants to see. So I get that, but still, it's like I don't know, like groups like that, like doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah. I'm just going to miss their finisher, man. Well, I mean, I'm going to miss Stu Grayson because I actually really enjoyed their tag team work. I think they're super underrated. I love their tag team sequences that they've been, that I saw they've been pulling off since the indies where, Evil Uno's got that one where he catches the guy's kick and hands the guy's leg off to the ref. I always thought that was pretty funny. But their fatality, their finishing move that him and Stu Grayson had, dude, it's fantastic, man. That's a bummer that's going to go to waste now. But yeah. And then the other part of this coin, the other side of this coin, Roderick Strong, the last member of Undisputed Era hanging around NXT 2.0 has asked for his release and does not look like it's being granted for obvious fucking reasons.
I'll give you a sports comparison that you may not know. This is kind of what happened when LeBron and D-Wade decided to form the Big Three in Miami. Carmelo Anthony was originally supposed to be the guy to do it, not Chris Bosh, but his dumbass signed an extra year on his deal, which made him a free agent the year after they all were. So he couldn't join them, and they told him don't do it, and he did it anyway. And this is kind of what happened with Roddy. He re-upped right after all of that shit happened, and now he can't get out of it. Now your entire fucking squad, and now your wife also is in another company, and you should be there. And they're not going to let – whether they use Roddy or not, which it looks like they're going to break him up from Diamond Mine, which is fucking the dumbest shit I've
seen. He's literally the only member left of the original version of Diamond Mine.
Right.
The original incarnation. He's the only one left in the company.
Right, and now he's going at them, at the Creed brothers and shit and everything, so they're going to break him up. So now he's going to be off TV or doing some jobbing out to fucking people for
Probably
the rest of his
that,
contract.
putting over guys. Yeah.
And they're not going to let him go just for the simple fact they don't want to complete the UE in another fucking company.
He seems to be a wrestler in a weird position where, unfortunately, it's not like when Ali cried for his release. There was a large vocal point of the internet that would back him. Roderick Strong, for better or worse, I think was like the not that he's not popular, but when you have to rank all four members of Undisputed Era, he was the least popular member of the four. So I feel like the fans, there isn't just as much fanfare like pining to get him back there, because the real Undisputed Era was Adam Cole and Red Dragon, and and Roderick Strong helped complete that, and the four were a great unit. But if you were to if you had to cut one, I hate to say it, but Roddy's the one to cut. So WWE feels like, in my opinion, well, obviously we don't want you to go strengthen the now Undisputed Elite.
Right.
But at the same time, I'm going to assume for now they don't value him like, say, Mustafa Ali, where they're like, okay, but we're going to start treating you better and put you in a little bit more of a prominent spot on television. It kind of seems like what you're saying is like, hey, we're not going to let you go, and this is going to be the kind of use we're going to get out of you while you're here. It had to have been something wrong with Malcolm Bivens that didn't resign. Yeah.
And he was propped up in a prominent group that's on TV and at the top of the card on the new NXT every fucking week. And he decided a month ago he wasn't going to resign his contract. So to me right there, that was a red flag right there.
Yeah. Did you see his little stand-up bit that he did?
No, I didn't.
It was really good, but it was like a weird combination of like an open mic statement / like stand-up comedy where he talked about being in WWE, his release. I mean, the main message that came across was that he wasn't being fulfilled creatively and like, like he just wasn't that happy, and he wants to go do other things, and that he might be done with wrestling, but I doubt it. He left the door open.
He's not done with wrestling. And my thing is, like, he's absolutely right. There's no way in hell, because like he was literally in matches and shit and Evolve.
Yeah,
like he's done nothing. Like the most he was on TV was with Turkish AOP, and that lasted 3 weeks, and they were gone.
Yeah, he Fuck, I forget what he said, but I mean that was like the gist of it. It was really good. You should look it up, man. It's only like 2 or 3 minutes long, but it's like I said, it's a weird combination. And honestly, it was more entertaining than any stand-up I've ever seen Dolph Ziggler do. So
right. My thing is like I think they just dropped the ball on him so badly, like, and that's weird to say about a manager, but like there were so many different things he could do, and then on top of it, he could take a bump if you needed him to too. So it's just like I didn't understand why they had him for that long and never put him on TV and just had him in the back. Like I don't get it whatsoever.
Yeah. Let me see here. Good. Did you hear? This isn't really that big a deal. Early rumors right now for Royal Rumble 2023, the Alamo Dome in San Antonio, Texas. I believe this is the one Undertaker won in, I want to say. The Royal Rumble. Should be good. Texas is always good for wrestling.
Yeah, it's and San Antonio's a good city to like to visit too. So
yeah,
it always helps.
Yeah, I hope those reports are correct, man. That'd be pretty dope.
Well, they're supposed to be doing all the big ones in stadium shows, so that'll be
and
stadium show,
which we got an ad for. TLC looks like it's going to be taking place. I now this part I could be wrong, but I don't know why. But my memories tell me I think like the Raiders Stadium. I forget.
So Allegiant Stadium.
Allegiant Stadium, yeah. In Las Vegas here at the beginning of July, so right before SummerSlam. Right. And a little bit of a spoiler was the ad that they were running. Had Cody Rhodes narrating it, and he says and he phrases it that the winner gets a chance to main event WrestleMania. When's the last time Money in the Bank contract participants or people hyping it up made WrestleMania the focal point? So this has a lot of people wondering, is this a spoiler? Are they gonna are the Money in the Bank contracts gonna have a new stipulation, or is this just Cody Rhodes blatantly throwing his name in the hat and saying that, look, if I win it, I'm gonna use it at Mania. I'm going, which, by the way, should be like, if like in logically kayfabe sense, it should be 1A 1B. If you are the Money in the Bank winner, granted, you could do what most heels do, wait for your champ to be down and out after getting beat down on an episode of Raw,
right?
Or you hold on to that sucker and you main event Mania and put yourself in the title match anyways. Yeah, it's That's what it should be.
I think it's a little bit of all three things you said, because WWE doesn't do anything on accident. That's one thing. Cody Rhodes would not have came there and not got a guarantee that he was going to be the world champ. I just don't see that happening. Why would he leave his own company to go to another place where there's no guarantee to be the world champ when he knows that's what his father never did, and he said it on the Broken Skull sessions? That's what he's there to do. That's the second thing. And then the third thing is, why not do it like that? You don't do it with fucking the Royal Rumble anymore.
Right.
Because normally the Royal Rumble winner doesn't even make it past the Elimination Chamber, or they lose their title shot. So, like, what's the fucking point of that if that doesn't work, or we don't really do that anymore? I think, like I said, it just kind of depends. I think, like I said, I think it's a piece of all three. Cody Rhodes probably gonna win that, and that's where he's gonna cash in at.
Yeah, man. I think that's a fantastic idea for it. It is weird, though, because, you know, part of the appeal of the Money in the Bank contract, of course, is just like the uncertainty of when are they going to cash it in. You know, that anticipation is always really fun to have. But yeah, from a kayfabe standpoint, that should be one of the main things. Like, look, if I don't see an opportunity, I'm going to let you know right now, this is going to happen at Mania. Like, I'm going to put myself in the main event of Mania. Yeah. That's a ticket to it, man. That's a ticket to it. And then, hell, you really could. I mean, no, obviously, once we start like going like really in depth with plot and plot holes, you really don't even have to cash it in ahead of time at Mania. You just wait for the normal main event to end, and then you run down and pick up the scraps. You know,
exactly.
Now you're in the main event of Mania, and you've given yourself an advantage. So, yeah, that would be fantastic. Yeah, dude, I don't know. Like Cody as a champ, like he just had the U.S. title shot last night on Raw. Which we all knew that was just fodder for Seth Rollins. So we're going to get a part 3 of that. What are you feeling about the Rhodes and Seth Rollins? It was one of the only matches I was anticipating for Backlash, and now we're gonna get more of it.
It's fucking dope, and it's Dusty's two sons. I mean, as much as like that's a funny thing to say, but it really is. Like, it's not a known secret that Seth Rollins was one of Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, and I think Finn Balor were Triple H and Dusty's pretty much their four horsemen or their horsemen of NXT, that they were trying to that they poured everything into to be the next guys. Like, so I love it. And I think that the chemistry that they have is kind of like that because they were both. Dusty was so influential on both of them in different ways. And I think that's why the chemistry worked. And when they haven't touched each other ever, but the chemistry that they have inside the ring and going back on forth on promos, like I feel like that's, and on top of it, it's helping me out with my fantasy, blowing y'all motherfuckers out the water.
Yeah, our fantasy draft here is going, hey, look, I took first. For a minute there, I don't know if I'm still in first, but I know I took it.
You took first because she didn't add up all my points. Don't say that.
Hey, listen, there was a message that indicated I was in first place.
Yes, because it was a miscalculation. Once she went back and got it done right, I stayed in first place, and that's not been in first place.
We need to figure out like what the stakes are for this. You know what I mean? Like we got to come up with the stakes until it's like the week beforehand.
I told y'all what was going to happen. I was going to be in first. I said it from the beginning.
Oh man! Hey, sticking with Backlash, what do you think of the show? Because this was awesome. By in part the pay-per-view that nobody was looking forward to.
Right.
Yes, but what do you think of the show?
The rematches outdid every match from WrestleMania, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Especially the Seth and Cody. It was more fast-paced. It was more action. It was more who's really going to win this, even though we knew it was probably going to be Cody, but it was still, you had a better feeling for the match, and it was more of a toss-up on who was going to win.
Yeah. It was good, man. I mean, no lie. It was good. It was, now granted, like in the same breath, it was pointless. Nothing was, the only stakes that were there was the Ronda and Charlotte match. And we got a new champion out of that, which I thought was pretty neat. I was completely caught off guard.
Ronda should not be a fucking face. I'm sorry. Like, I think she's masterful in what she's learned in the ring in such a short time, including a 3-year hiatus.
Yeah.
Like, she's just not believable, like with those fucking, with her facials and like stupid bitch, like all this shit. Like, she's just, nothing about her is likable, down to her fucking eye makeup. Like, literally nothing about
That's not her
likable.
fault now. That is their terrible makeup department, man.
Well, that's what I'm saying. There's just literally nothing likable about her as a babyface. Like, I don't understand why they keep forcing that on us. Like, they do like everyone knew Brock was not a good babyface, and he never is one until this very last run.
He's old and until he's really just cutting up and having fun.
Doing the fuck. I know, but they don't do that with Ronda's. Like, she is a fucking heel. She should be with her and Shayna and whoever, whatever little
just her and Shayna.
Or just
like the Sisters of Destruction, man. It'd be
like, let them snap people's fucking arms and like she did. Like,
limb collectors,
I don't understand,
man.
Like why do they just like, just because the purpose is famous, it doesn't mean they're liked. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't mean people love them because they're famous.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can just be famous to be famous and still people fucking hate you.
We often criticize AEW for overthinking things and WWE for not putting enough thought into things. Ronda's the exception. I feel like with Ronda Rousey, they really overthink her character.
Always.
And her position and everything. Yeah.
I feel like they think that she's like Cena and them, where she gets hated, cheered and booed. But when you're pumping the cheers in, that doesn't count.
Yeah. I love Ronda Rousey's talent, but you're right. From a character standpoint, she's much more natural, because it's the same thing like Brock Lesnar. It's when you have a person that genuinely does not care about the fans, which that translates. You know, if they're not a top tier actor, let's be honest, Brock Lesnar and Ronda Rousey didn't go into acting. They genuinely do not care about the fans. They are elite level athletes. They're physically in a different world. They exist in a different plane than the average person like you and me that will ever comprehend. And so they could give a shit how we feel. So when you tell them to go out there and be likable and be relatable and all this other shit, like you said, it doesn't translate. It doesn't.
No.
It doesn't work, man. It doesn't work. You know.
And the thing about it is, like, I don't want to hate Ronda Rousey because, like I said, the amount of progress she made and the commitment she made to wrestling is fucking phenomenal.
Yes.
And she is getting better and better in ring. And her moves look believable now. Before, you could tell when she did arm bars and shit that it was just like, oh, I'm the real UFC person. I'm supposed to do these moves. But now I believe in it. I do believe she could break somebody's arm if she fucking wanted to. But her makeup, just how she comes, the scowl, the constantly calling girls bitches in the ring and shit, like none of that is babyface. Like,
they relied really heavy on the word bitch in that match.
Yeah,
they did.
She, you know what I'm saying? Like, and she's just not, even in real life, she's not a babyface. Like, I don't get it at all. Like, why do they keep forcing that? It's the Roman Reigns syndrome. Like, we're just gonna give you this no matter what.
Well, they're trying to appeal to the wrong people. You know what I mean? It's like she's talking to the audience. There's ways you could work around her not caring too much for the fans and still make her likable. Find somebody she has chemistry with and hone in on that.
I don't believe that's true though, bro. I don't, because
look at Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho. You had two heels, both people being booed. However, when they were around each other, their chemistry was so funny and likable that people were drawn to them.
Apples to oranges. That's apple to oranges with me though, because of who Ronda is in real life.
But I'm saying there's a formula. Like, that's what I'm saying. Ronda could not give a damn about the fans. You know what I mean? No, but if you find somebody that she's naturally entertaining around, and dial in on that can get her cheered just because that now she's being entertaining.
Right, but I don't think that she's. First of all, I don't know if she has the chops for that. And honestly, I don't think that the fans would give her that chance because, like I said, with Jericho and them, yes, they've been heels, but they're wrestling heels.
Yeah.
So they can be heels today and faces tomorrow.
You're right.
Just from stunning one person wrong. Ronda's looked at it. Ronda's a heel no matter what. There's nothing they can do for the crowd to save her. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, she just went against Charlotte, who everyone hates. Everyone thinks is overrated. Everyone thinks, oh my gosh, she's champ again. And she was still getting fucking booed.
Well, they were split. They were split on that match. They got people into that match.
But that's what I'm saying though. Like, she went against the person, public enemy number one besides her, to the fans and to podcasters and to everybody, and was still getting booed. Which is why they put her with Charlotte to begin with. I know that's why they put her with Charlotte. I was like, well, she's with Charlotte. People hate Charlotte anyway. They're going to go to Charlotte.
Yeah, it's your best chance.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it didn't work. Like, it did not work.
And I wish her and Natalya would be more intriguing because they had chemistry. Natalya has really good chemistry with MMA fighters. You notice that? Like,
because she's in her old days, you know what I'm saying? She was a real fighter too, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like her and Shayna Baszler. I remember that blew us away, like the amount of in-ring chemistry they had.
Because those type of people train the hard way. Like, as much as I give Natty shit, you still can't deny how she was brought up and what she was brought up around.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, my main thing with Natty is how the company treats her. It's not necessarily what she can or can't
Puts
do.
her in every goddamn documentary.
Puts her in everything. And she can't wrestle good anymore. But she does have the chance, if you put, like you said,
what are the chances she appears in like an Owen Hart tournament AEW documentary down the road?
No chance of that. She's not going to go against the WWE.
No contract. You think that'd be a contract dispute, right?
Absolutely.
You can't be. But I mean, they're playing nice, man. They allow I forget what it was, but they've allowed some WWE people to be in AEW documentaries or vice versa. I remember they've played nice behind the scenes for documentary sake. I'm gonna hold out hope.
That was just because what's his name died.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold out hope on that shit because I think it'll be fucking hilarious. It'll just be a punchline to this like 2-year-long Smacked Raw joke that we have going on.
Right. Natty and everything.
I guess. Backlash overall, I mean, there's really not too many bullet points. Like, stories weren't advanced too far. They were just good matches, which, by the way, I mean, there's nothing wrong with having a night of good matches. Yeah.
And that's what I was going to say. Like, for once, we got to give them credit for that. Like, that's the thing we always say. Like, we can't ever get, like, a consistently good show. You know what I'm saying? Like, we did this time. Like, every match was good. Like, there wasn't any, even the Madcap Corbin, like, that shit was, it was cannon fodder, but it was still a decent match for them, too.
Speaking of which, the controversy. So WWE, you know how much they love to control the perception of their shows. They've been piping in crowd noises forever now, for ages. This is the first instance that people are catching on that they literally piped in shots of crowd reactions. Did you catch this?
Yeah, no, I didn't.
So during the Madcap and Corbin match, which, by the way, Pat McAfee was fucking hilarious on. I think someone must have pissed Pat McAfee off backstage because he did not follow protocol like at all during the show. He was openly calling Corbin Baron Corbin and would sarcastically like, "Oh, happy Corbin, I'm sorry," and but I can't remember, but I remember him like committing a couple of the faux pas on commentary that night and just really seeming like he didn't care. But no. So there's this crowd reaction footage that took place at the return of John Cena's Thugonomics during his Brock Lesnar feud from 10 years ago. Just a shot to the crowd of some people like the Brock Lesnar fan, whatever, and this other guy reacting like very positively to the return to Thugonomics. And they took that crowd shot and edited it into the live version of Backlash. So at one point, when they seemingly pan to the crowd to try and get positive reactions to catch the people super excited for the new babyface Madcap Moss, instead of relying on the crowd there, they just threw in footage from 10 years ago, hoping nobody would notice. And it's the internet. So, of course, it was caught like instantly. Yo, how about this? How about this, WWE? Fire everybody. Fire all your wrestlers. Fire all and just literally hang on to your video production and your writers, and let's just do CG shows. Let's just do a fucking WWE Avatar. You know, if you want that much control over the narrative of your shows, let's stop doing live wrestling events and just make everything CG at this point. Like, just fucking make your own. Just make your own sitcom at this point,
or just go back to the Thunderdome era. Take the fans out of it completely.
Yeah, man. Like, what the... Dude. Where does it now? How deep does it go now? Like, how deep down the rabbit hole does their control go?
My thing is, like, not even that. How long have we known that... Why are we just now this? How long have they been pumping in crowd noise? Maybe it was even before... the pandemic.
The only reason I think it was picked up on this time is because the Brock Lesnar fan, he's kind of like what they refer to as like a super fan. He's at 1 million shows and he's recognizable. So I think someone saw that guy and was like, he looks oddly young in this clip. Yeah, man. That was so weird. It was so weird. And they've done this before, actually. I remember this because I think it was during the Thunderdome. They used another fan's like positive reaction, and then they famously went to Twitter and was like, "Hey, by the way, I'm not there. I'm doing this tonight. That was not me. I was not there." I think it was what's her name? She's that really popular Twitter personality, Jessie Devon. I want to say it is.
Oh yeah, I know you're talking.
I want to say it was her. I want to say that they panned to her during a Thunderdome episode, and it was fake. It was from a previous episode of wrestling, and yeah. So apparently they've been doing this for a while. We're just now catching on. God damn you, WWE! It doesn't feel good. It does not feel good, man.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Oh man. Hey, really quick, the clickbait title of this week's episode, at least for the live version, I don't know if it'll be for the YouTube version, is Roman Reigns retiring. No. But it does appear he's working less dates, man, which should we be surprised at this point?
He's been working less dates for like the past 6-7 months. Like, we only see him wrestle on pay-per-views and a random SmackDown here or there. Like, well,
I guess he went to a house show in New Jersey. Yeah, and he said this will probably be the last time. Well, he said I don't know when I'll be back, but he alluded to this might be the last time y'all see me. There was initial talks. I'm not going to cite all these sources. Essentially just blend in Dave Meltzer's Wrestling Observer and then Fightful Select. It was not that he was retiring, but he might be taking time off for like movies and stuff. And then it was further added to that, it just looks like he's just not going to be doing smaller shows. Like he's just going to work less dates. He's going to work less house shows. John Cena did this. I mean, John Cena did the same thing. He started telling house shows like, look, you know, you guys are going to see less and less of me here. And really what it is because these guys rarely, unless you're like The Rock and Hollywood just kicks your fucking door down, they do kind of just ease themselves out. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like John Cena didn't just disappear one night. The man he stopped appearing on house shows, and then he started kind of like not doing weekly television as much. And
I think we seem to forget he has both world titles.
Yeah. That is kind of like the ugly part. Well, you could make an argument for it against it, but that's part of the selling point for house shows, though, is to see your champions. But I mean, Roman Reigns, do you think this dude is destined for Hollywood?
No.
You don't think so?
Not really, because we've done this already. Like, he's not. We got Jason Momoa, we got somewhat of The Rock. Like, he's not, and he's nowhere near as big as either one of them. Like, I just don't see it happening. And we haven't seen enough. Like, he's never been good on the mic. He's never been good, like, making us believe something that he is or isn't. Like, I don't think so. Like, I'm not saying he's not going to get movies. He's not going to get chances, but I don't think he's going to have, like, I don't think he's going to be like The Rock.
Well, we said this about John Cena. I mean, and Batista. You know, we're probably never going to get another Rock. You know what I mean? Where you take a professional wrestler and make him literally the world's largest and highest paid actor. Right, you know what I mean? We'll never get that again. But I mean, Batista has carved himself out a nice path into Hollywood.
John Cena as well.
John Cena is now, but John Cena took a minute. You know, he was doing some shitty B movies. And a lot of his stuff, it wasn't until he started doing these like cameos and started showing his comedic chops.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't see that with Roman Reigns. I don't see that because John Cena could do it all. John Cena could work on the mic. I mean, that's the thing. All these people, all the guys that did something that got big, they did other things and they were decent on the mic at least. Like even Batista was decent on the fucking mic. Roman didn't get decent on the mic until he only had to say 3 or 4 words.
He could be like a Marvel villain though.
Yeah, he could be a Marvel villain or a superhero, but it's just like I'm just saying I don't see him getting like mega success and like completely leaving the WWE.
Yeah, it's hard to say, man. I think he's got the looks for it. Like, you know, A+ on the looks at least.
Right. Yeah.
It's just a matter of can you find him in a really mass appealing Hollywood role, or find that niche. Because like with Cena was kind of floundering as like the serious action movie type, and then like I said, once it was like his comedic chops started showing, like, hey, this guy's funny, he takes himself silly. Because like with meatheads, I've learned that like people are like naturally intimidated by meatheads anyways. We're over the 90s like super muscled up, you know, guy. Like, so
if you don't take yourself serious, like Batista doing Drax, you know what I'm saying, like Peacemaker, all that shit, it's okay. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's
when people come around to you.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think he'll be good. I think he'll be big. I mean, that's pretty much it, man. That's pretty much it for this week. AEW, though, for all you guys that like to just throw shade at the company, they drew their lowest rating ever in company history, just shy of 300,000 viewers. There's a caveat to it. It was this most recent episode of Rampage. It aired at 5:30 p.m. East Coast, which was an astounding 2:30 p.m. West Coast time slot. Yeah, competing with the NBA playoffs. That's
a grain of salt shit. Like, even for an AEW hater like me, that's. I actually watched the last 30 minutes of it, but yeah, it's. I
completely forgot about it again. I forget every time they put it on an early time slot.
It's not a big deal. Like you said, it was competing against the playoffs, and TNT and TBS are fully in on the NBA, so it kind of is what it is. It's not a big deal.
Yeah. But this was their next to lowest rating ever was just shy of 500,000, which we've learned is TNT's like benchmark for like you have a good show. Like apparently TNT, what they care about is that 500,000. If you're breaking 500,000, you're pulling your weight. You're good with TNT. You know what I mean? Regardless of what like fans want to say about the ratings, that's what
That's the thing. Like whenever these fan conversations, like clearly, like even with NXT, we had that conversation. Like USA knows what they have and what their point is. Like if USA wasn't okay with that 600K that NXT does every week, the show wouldn't be on TV.
Right.
Like it wouldn't be on there.
Yeah, man. But yeah, it didn't shock me though too. It did not shock me because I remember that episode of even I try to tune in to Rampage. But even that week I was like, dude, I could care less. Right. Get it on that 7 o'clock time slot for me though. God, just please get it to 7 o'clock permanently.
Yeah, that 10 o'clock shit is
at 10 o'clock. It's like I like having
I'm either
it on.
I'm either asleep or not home.
Yeah, well, for me, I do have SmackDown on, but it's like if SmackDown lost me, I'm definitely not like eyeballing Rampage.
Right,
you know what I mean? If SmackDown lost me in the second half, I'll throw Rampage on, but I'm not paying attention to it. I'll peek up like, oh, it looks like they're having a good match. Whatever. Right. You know what I mean? If there's a quiz after Rampage, I'm going to fail every time, especially if SmackDown lost me because it's
facts.
Yeah. You know, it's just weird. It's a weird spot to be in, man. All right. Well, I mean, that was a pretty good show. That was a good show for a Tuesday afternoon. A couple of you guys joined in live. Bama, thank you for stopping by. Allison was in the chat. She was talking to us, and Justin stopped by for his lunch break. Yeah. Also, Marie was in here too. She was in here initially until I was probably talking shit about her, and she bounced. But RN, all right, how's Mean Jelly Bean going for you?
Good. We just dropped a video last week for my buddy's diaper party. It's called Think Too Much. It's fucking hilarious. It's like we're at a trap house with drugs, but it's just diapers and baby food and shit and barbecuing. So pretty fucking funny.
I was saying, sorry, this just came to mind. I guess I should have saved it after. You need to just start. Send me the link, and I'll do what Justin does. What we do for Justin. We'll close out our show with your music videos, man.
All right, that'll work.
Yeah, why the fuck aren't we doing this yet?
I don't fucking know. I didn't even think about it, honestly.
Why are we not doing... I mean, you think Adam's going to mind if we air his content over here?
No, because his content is my content. What the fuck?
Why are we not doing this? We've been airing someone else's music-related stuff for fucking months now. Never once dawned on us like, oh, hey, we have another music creator sitting right fucking here.
Yeah, that's on us. That's our bad.
That's totally on us. What the fuck, man? All right. Tune in next week where we'll start airing Mean Jelly Bean music videos. If you don't have a new one, we'll find a slot for some of your old content. You got like a decade worth of content.
Literally.
Let's start throwing some shine to your stuff, man. Fucking hell, dude. Yeah, thank you guys for tuning in tonight. Thank you, Allison. She says she's still here. We'll catch you next week. Make sure to tune in tonight if you're watching this live. Tune in tonight 9 p.m. If not, if you're watching the replay of this, yeah, go check out UWO, man. I'm sure it was hilarious. And then of course this Friday, the 6 p.m. live here on Twitch, we will go ahead and we're gonna start streaming WWE 2K my GM mode between you and me, and I'm gonna take SmackDown to the prominence. Promise you.
Allegedly.
All right, y'all. Enjoy this week's beat of the week.
All right, I'm out, boss. I gotta go.
Later, bro.
Talk to you later.